What do we got here?
Oh. Oh, you okay, buddy?
Huh? Must have got mugged. Good morning, New York.
Mounted post 1, request immediate EMS.
On a bench off 86. He's cut about 8 inches, centimeters, whichever is smaller, right about here. But he's all sewn up. And the doc says, real nice work.
So he had an operation. So what? What's the beef?
Well, he says his name is Drew McDaniel. He swears he's never been under the knife, never even been in a hospital. But the doctor says he has massive internal bleeding. They did an ultrasound or something before they took him into surgery.
And
somebody cut out his kidney.
Talk about getting your pocket picked, huh?
Reality, kidney brokers are pure fiction. There is no such animal as a black market for kidneys.
So even if I wanted to, I couldn't buy a kidney?
It's against the law.
So's jaywalking.
More to the point, it's not necessary. We can keep kidney patients alive on dialysis until a kidney becomes available.
available how?
Through OTN, the Organ Transplant Network. They monitor all available organs nationwide.
So I want to give up my kidney. I go to OTN.
Not exactly. Hopefully you'd be recently deceased, since it's also illegal to sell a kidney. Hospital notifies OTN they've got a donor.
How long does it take to get one?
Long, sometimes never.
What's the problem, getting them to match?
Rejection hasn't been a major concern for 10 years. Drugs combat it. For the most part, everything's interchangeable.
So there's no reason for this to have happened.
Unless the recipient was highly cytotoxic.
English, please, Doc.
If you're cytotoxic, you reject tissue unlike your own. The drugs don't work. You'd need a virtually perfect match.
Whoa, wait a minute. Are you telling me McDaniel was not a random victim? All right, we got a specialist who says the only way this thing makes sense is that the recipient had a condition that required a match.
And McDaniel's kidney fits the bill.
Well, he'd have to be tested to make sure, but the problem is McDaniel swears from now till Sunday that he's never been tested.
Grand theft kidney. Terrific. What about you? You got any theories? Devil worship? Alien beings?
A cult wouldn't stitch the guy back up. And I imagine there'd be other organs of more interest than a kidney.
Had to be for a transplant.
That'll happen sooner or later.
What did?
Well, you don't think with these medical miracles, they don't set up a whole new set of problems?
Oh, what are we gonna do, bury our heads in the sand?
I'm just saying, if we come in with all our own parts, maybe we should go out the same way.
Come on, give me a break, Max. You know how many lives have been saved because of organ donations?
I don't see you standing in line giving anything away.
You don't mind if I tape this? I find it avoids misunderstandings.
Well, we certainly wouldn't want any of those.
To get back to your question. As long as the blood and tissue samples are compatible with my patient, it doesn't much concern me where the kidney comes from.
So you have no idea who the donor was?
The paperwork that accompanies the organ only has the donor's vitals. If you need more, I guess you got to talk to OTN.
Yeah, well, OTN has no record of ever delivering a kidney to Gramercy Hospital, so...
When were you alerted that a kidney had become available?
I was dining at Windows. It was 9:30. My beeper went off. I notified my team, and I notified the patient.
Nothing unusual.
Like 1,000 times before. The operation was a success. We're monitoring her responses. You know, my guess is that some clerk got caught napping down at OTN. To err is human.
Attempted murder is absurd. Whoever did this stitched McDaniels up. It looks to me like they wanted him to live. Now, where's the intent?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Hale, but any first-year surgical resident knows if you don't tie the renal vein, the patient dies. So whoever operated on McDaniel either didn't know what he was doing or wanted him to die.
I saw him.
Elaine,
30 minutes longer on that bench, we'd be discussing a murder charge, not attempt.
You should also know he's offered to testify against you.
Assault 1 minimum.
She serves 2.
Love isn't blind, it's stupid. I think I actually believed in him.
Reverdy? What about Woodley?
I had no contact with him. James swore he would keep McDaniel alive. He said he could close while I packed the kidney in ice. We rolled him into the park in a wheelchair. I saw the bleeding. He said it was just oozing. He wanted him to die all along, no loose ends. I said I wouldn't help unless he kept him alive. And we would have lived happily ever after.
Mr. McDaniel, would you describe for the court how you felt when you regained consciousness that morning in Central Park?
How I felt? I felt lousy.
Were you in pain?
They ripped off one of my kidneys.
And when you first learned that's what had happened, how did you feel?
People talk about feeling violated when some punk breaks into their apartment and steals a TV set. I felt raped.
Would you mind taking off your shirt, Mr. McDaniel?
Objection, Your Honor.
I feel the jury should be able to see why he felt violated.
Overruled.
Mr. McDaniel? One more question. What do you think would be a satisfactory conclusion to this case?
Getting my kidney back.
No further questions. And did you, in exchange for sentencing down on a lesser charge, agree to testify against Mr. Woodley, Doctor?
Yes, I did.
And did you do so without coercion and with the full intent of telling the truth?
That is correct.
Very well. Now, when you informed Mr. Woodley that the odds of his obtaining a perfectly matched kidney for his daughter were extremely long, what did he say?
He said that he didn't care. He wanted a kidney, whatever the cost.
Whatever the cost. Yet Dr. Backus just testified that he informed the Woodley family of the impossibility of buying a kidney. Legally, that is. Do you think Mr. Woodley fully understood what he was asking you to do for him?
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation.
Sustained.
Did Mr. Woodley ever ask you what the potential problems might be?
No, he didn't. His only words were, whatever the cost.
And how much did the kidney cost, Mr. Woodley?
A little over $1 million.
No further questions.
Dr. Reverdy, did Mr. Woodley ever ask you to go out and cut open an innocent man? If you would answer yes or no, please.
Well, no.
Did you ever tell him you planned to cut open an innocent man?
As I just stated, he told me to do whatever was...
Did you ever tell him, Doctor? Yes or no, please?
No.
You all right? Don't touch it. Sit down, babe. Okay, in any pain? Check your driver. Did you see it? Must have been going 40. Kid's name is Roberto Martinez. Guys from AI are down at the scene. His kid's sister said he passed out. My guess, drunk out of his mind or drugged out.
Call the family. Did you do the accident?
Bystanders, bumps and bruises.
What about the Martinez kid?
Not his lucky day. DOA.
Did you do his blood?
No alcohol, no drugs.
His sister said he passed out.
That's consistent. The kid had a heart attack.
Hello?
No, I didn't expect you, but I certainly know why you're here. Peter Fischel. Talk about sharks.
He's already served you with papers?
Yeah. The man's the reason a lot of doctors I graduated with are now driving cabs. He's topped himself this time, calling in the infantry.
Well, he claims the surgery on Roberto Martinez was unnecessary.
I didn't know they taught supraventricular tachycardia in law school. That was Roberto's problem. An irregular heartbeat that speeds up now and again from a normal 70 to as high as 200 beats per minute.
And the pacemaker controls that?
It's supposed to.
Is it possible Roberto could have lived without the pacemaker?
You saw what happened when it didn't work.
Mr. Fischel contends that he could have been treated just as effectively with drugs.
Some doctors might agree, but I'm of the school that believes you don't needlessly subject young patients to a lifetime of toxic drugs.
Yeah, but drugs don't usually break.
Neither do bionorm pacemakers. Pacemaker technology has been well established for decades. Bionorm Industries is at the forefront. My decision to implant the device was a sound medical decision, no matter what Mr. Fischel says. And I guess I'll spend the next 6 years in court proving it.
Lawyers call it compensation. I call it blackmail. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the device in that boy's heart.
So you examined it?
No, I didn't have to. Look, whatever study you want to go by, our pacemakers are one of the top 3 sellers in the world. We've never had any problem.
You offered Mrs. Martinez $50,000. Some might say that's a solution to a pretty big problem.
50,000. That'd be in my lawyer's pocket the first week. There was an itch. I tried to scratch it.
Mr. Cleary, that's more than an itch. The boy died.
What, do you want me to hop down in the grave beside him? Look, 35 years ago, my old man owned a greasy spoon in Corona. An old lady slipped. She broke her hip. By the time her gaggle of shysters got through with him, he didn't have a proverbial pot. Now, there's no way lightning strikes my family twice.
If Roberto's pacemaker didn't function, he is entitled to...
Check your source, Detective. Peter Fischel said it was a malfunction. That's the first thing those people always say.
What about the gag order?
I've got nothing against Mrs. Martinez. She seems like a very nice person. But if she goes on Geraldo and starts talking about how her boy died with one of my pacemakers in his chest, well, my whole company goes down the crapper.
Well, all 6 doctors have filed complaints with the FDA.
All of their patients died with bionorm pacemakers in their chests. All of the survivors signed settlement agreements.
Which conveniently contain non-disclosure statements. Willie Sutton wasn't so good at covering his tracks.
7 dead. We could be talking about mass murder here.
Whoa. They got sued, they settled. That doesn't mean they're out killing people.
Yeah. Well, that's how I felt until Cleary lied to us. He said he never had any trouble.
Tell a little lie, tell a big one. Take it from me. Cleary is covering something.
You got 24 to find out what it is.
The sole reason for the malfunction was that the device had corroded leads. The electrical impulse generated by the battery never reached the boy's heart.
And in your expert opinion, what was the cause of the corrosion?
Most probably, it was exposure during shipping.
Thank you.
Now, tell me, Miss Kenny, in your role as FDA inspector, did you approve Bionorm's pacemaker?
I inspected the design proposal and the prototype. Both were first rate.
First rate. Did you ever follow up? Did you make random checks, for example?
That's not feasible.
No, it's not feasible, but it would be prudent, wouldn't it?
In a perfect world.
Yes, but this isn't a perfect world, is it, Miss Kenny? People make mistakes. People make mistakes. Even some kid working on an assembly line in a pacemaker factory.
Objection.
Keep the meditations to a minimum, Counselor. Sustained.
No more questions?
We've been in the pacemaker business for over 20 years. This Asian Pacific Trading comes along and offers to sell us wire leads at a quarter of the price of our usual supplier. What can I say? Of course, I bought them.
Did you use these wire leads in your pacemakers?
No way. They come off the boat, I can see myself that half of them are corroded. And I haven't been 20/20 for 20 years.
But did you use the other half?
Absolutely not. The components were garbage, and that's where they went.
Wasn't that expensive?
We're in the medical business. Market share is not worth killing people.
How does your market share compare to that of Bionorm's?
Theirs is growing. Ours isn't.
Would you explain that?
You buy cheap, you sell cheap. They've been undercutting our prices for years.
Thank you.
I suppose you read the medical journals, Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Now, have you ever read an article questioning the quality of BioNorm's products?
No.
No. Do you have any first-hand knowledge of any of BioNorm's instruments malfunctioning?
Other than this one, no.
No. So perhaps, sir, BioNorm has a better market share because BioNorm builds a better mousetrap.
I was purchasing agent for BioNorm Industries until the summer of 1988.
Then you were responsible for purchasing wire leads for BioNorm from the Asian Pacific Trading Company, is that correct?
It's been a long time.
Do you recognize this document?
It's a purchase order for 500 gross of wire leads from Asian Pacific Trading.
Is that your signature?
Yes.
I move to have this admitted into evidence, Your Honor.
Call it People 17.
Mrs. Cleary, did you inspect the wire leads that BioNorm purchased from Asian Pacific Trading Company?
Only to determine if the quantity was correct. Anything more, I wouldn't know.
Thank you.
Our products are the best on the market. The settlement offer was a business decision, pure and simple. It's more cost-effective to nip a nuisance suit in the bud.
A nuisance? A boy died because your company used defective components and you call it a nuisance?
I didn't know anything about that.
Did you personally inspect the leads, sir?
Well, it's not my area of expertise.
Or you hired someone to do it?
That's right.
Whom did you hire to inspect the leads purchased from Asian Pacific Trading Company?
Oh, no, sir. No way you get me to help you convict my own son.
Excuse me, sir, I think you just did.
Objection!
I inspected the leads very carefully in order to weed out the bad ones.
And you feel you have sufficient expertise to distinguish good leads from bad?
I'm an electrical engineer. I've been dealing with wires my whole life.
Your degree in electrical engineering is from MIT, isn't that right?
Yeah, my parents started contributing to the alumni fund the day I was born.
And even with this expertise and a very careful inspection, a single bad wire got through.
You know, I'm sorry. I did my best. I did everything that... I have no idea how this happened.
Sarah? 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 Her name is Sarah Purcell. She's an embryologist. When I went home last night, she was working.
Alone?
Dr. Rutland was here.
Did you have any problems with Dr. Rutland or anybody else in the clinic?
Sarah? No.
And how many people had the code to this keypad?
Everyone who works here, I think.
Thanks. Don't go away.
The groove in her skull looks like it came from the tank. There's some blood.
So she quarreled with somebody and he picked up the nearest heavy object?
He was already holding it. They use these gloves to work with these things. These are extra large. She's got to be a small.
So they pulled off in the struggle?
It's a theory. Leighton will check for prints.
How cold are these tanks?
You can touch the outside, but inside there's liquid nitrogen. Stick your finger in, it'll freeze and shatter.
So the killer opened this tank. Why?
There's something in the sink.
So he was dumping this stuff. She interrupted him. There was no sign of forced entry. Now, is it possible that some of your employees aren't quite so loyal?
I never had a problem with anybody.
So who might have had a grudge against this place?
The Pope?
Excuse me?
I make babies in petri dishes. I implant 4 or 5 embryos and freeze the rest to try again later. Some people think that's immoral.
Anybody try to do anything about it?
We get picketed, we get hate mail. That's why we keep the cold storage room locked up. Nobody's allowed back there but staff.
You ever have any trouble in that area?
Just an accidental power outage a couple months ago. Temperature sensor went off. Dialed my pager on a Saturday night.
And this was an accident?
That's what the contractor said. We were having some work done.
Dr. Rutland.
Harvey, you have my deepest sympathy.
I was in Albany. I just got back.
This is Harvey Purcell, Sarah's husband.
We're very sorry.
What happened? Can anybody tell me what happened?
Hey. Yeah, hey. We're gonna do this easy?
Francis, do what?
These are police officers, Mrs. Gelb.
William O'Rourke, the guy who sold you the key to the clinic, just picked you out of a photo array.
We had a nicer shade of puke green at the 2-5.
Francis Curran joined the force 77, made detective 89. Left the force 91, before the pension.
Had a few shots at lunch one day, then had a spirited discussion with my LT.
Spirited, huh?
Bastard kept sticking me on uniform details. Election day, I was in the bag. Puerto Rican day, in the bag. He calls me in, says, pull out the uniform. The King of Belgium's in town.
Protective detail?
I said, tell the King of Belgium to wear the uniform. Otherwise, who's gonna know who the hell he is? We discussed it some more. Then I helped him trip and fall.
So now you're driving cars for the Blue Bloods?
Yeah. And I keep the riffraff away from Mrs. Galvin and her boy.
Same old, same old. Working stiff, doing errands for the upper crust.
She's a good lady.
She can't be good enough for you to take this fall alone.
So who's the King of Belgium need to be protected against? The Duke of Earl?
Saw your wife this morning.
She doesn't know anything.
She helped you case the clinic. The people there recognized her picture.
If she's a suspect, I should have been notified.
I told her I was doing a favor for a sick friend.
She's the one who's sick, Mr. Curran. We know about her arthritis. She had to quit her waitress job.
That's why you did it. You needed the money.
You leave her alone.
You tell us who sent you into that clinic. Don't answer that. Fine. You'll serve the maximum sentence with your wife in a prison down the road. It's a bluff. Mr. Grove, Arlene Galvin is paying your fee, isn't she? What's that matter? Matters if you're putting her interest above your client's. I'll make sure the disciplinary committee hears all about it. Now you're threatening me? I'm stating a fact, and I'm offering him a deal. 15 years instead of 25.
And you don't touch my wife.
Mr. Curran.
What? He was eating Mrs. Galvin up. That the bimbo might have a baby. She told me to destroy those embryos and gave me $50,000. Nobody was supposed to get hurt. My girl tried to stop me. I just wanted to get away.
Your Honor, we've already filed papers to prevent the release of the embryos to Carl Galvin, no matter what position the district attorney takes.
Surprise, surprise.
You can't let her have them, Your Honor. They're mine. You have to follow the law. She only cares about the money. Isn't that obvious? After the child was born, how would she treat it?
You're worried about the life the child would have?
Yes.
So you decided to destroy the embryo so it would have no life at all?
As the mother of those embryos, the law of the land gives her the right to make that choice.
I didn't know what else to do. I couldn't spend the rest of my life watching the child suffer. My child. Are you a mother? Do you understand?
Causing a miscarriage in a woman without her consent is a crime. The burden is on the defense to prove that they had your consent.
What miscarriage? I wasn't pregnant.
What's pregnant? Destroying a partially developed embryo is arguably causing a miscarriage. It might not fly, but I will make the argument.
But win or lose, our names are going to be all over this thing.
Yes,
Why do you have to drag us into it?
because to get justice for a woman who was killed, I need someone to say that their embryos were destroyed without their permission. If you won't do the right thing by testifying, then I don't have a choice.
The right thing? Letting the world know how our daughter was conceived, letting her know that's the right thing?
There's nothing shameful about in vitro fertilization.
That's not it. I was having trouble getting pregnant, even with the IVF.
You don't have to tell them.
I want them to understand. The doctor put 4 embryos in me. 2 of them started to grow, but they found a problem with my heart. It was dangerous for me to carry one baby. So you aborted one of the fetuses? They call it selective reduction. Nice way to put it. I won't tell my little girl we aborted her twin sister. That wouldn't have to come out if you agreed to testify.
Mrs. Lasky, your daughter had more potential sisters in that tank. There's a reason why you kept them alive all these years. Arlene Galvin and her chauffeur killed them all. With your testimony, they will be convicted. Without it, I'm not sure I can make the charges stick. after the fertilization procedure, what did Dr. Rutland do with the remaining embryos?
He froze them. He put them in that tank.
And you paid a bill every year to keep them there?
Yes.
Did you give Francis Curran permission to destroy them?
No.
Did you give Arlene Galvin permission to destroy them?
No.
We'll take criminally negligent homicide, 2 to 4.
The offer was manslaughter, too.
Not 7.5 to 15 years. She didn't know anybody was in the building.
She sent in a former police officer trained in the use of physical force. She didn't even try to find out if the building was empty or not.
I didn't want anybody to get hurt. What kind of a person do you think I am?
One who's criminally reckless. 5 to 10.
Mr. McCoy, those last 2 embryos, you can't let that woman get them. You've got to help me.
I already did.
Mom, watch where you're going, okay?
Oh, I'm just having a little fun, Nikki. Jeez. Give me my spray out of my purse, will you, honey?
So, where'd you take her?
Apple picking.
Oh, risky first date.
Oh, it's all good, bro. And we got some great McCowns.
Macoons.
Minivan entered the highway at 14th Street going the wrong way. Witnesses say it was going 60 minimum. Hit this poor guy head on. All 3 of the car were in DOA. 2 in the minivan, little kids.
What about the driver of the minivan?
They rushed her and 2 other kids to St. Agnes's.
Drove almost 20 blocks on the wrong side. Unbelievable.
Hey, I think I found the culprit. Grain alcohol, 151 proof.
No taste, packs a wallop.
Yeah, there's still a few drops in the bottle. This is why I take the subway.
She had our nieces with her. Oh, God. Oh, what am I gonna tell Sandy and Bob?
We're very sorry, Mr. Sawyer.
Where was she coming from?
She was coming from work from Woodmore Pharma. Brenda's a sales manager. She wasn't even supposed to have the kids with her. I was supposed to pick them up from her sister's place, but last minute I had to stay late at the bank.
So you called your wife?
Yeah, around 4:45, I told her she'd have to pick the kids up and I'd come up later.
How'd she sound?
She sounded okay. You know, she was still at work.
We have to ask you this, Mr. Sawyer. Did your wife drink?
No, maybe champagne on special occasions, but that's it. Why?
There was a bottle of grain alcohol in the van. Maybe it belonged to you.
No, we're not drinkers. What are you implying, that my wife was drunk?
Just routine questions, Mr. Sawyer.
My wife was not drunk. No damn way. I have to go check on my son.
How was she when she left on Friday?
She was good. Happy to go home.
What time was that?
Maybe 4:15, 4:30.
You ever see her have a drink at lunch or after hours?
Maybe a glass of punch at a Christmas party.
Did you ever talk about drinking or being hungover?
No? Well,
What is it, Miss Marshall?
well, when she left on Friday, she said she was going to be cooped up with 4 kids all weekend. She laughed and said she was going to need a stiff drink, but I thought she was kidding.
How did she get in that car, stone cold drunk? And now her husband saying she didn't touch the stuff? Well, you know what that's about.
Are you planning to take legal action against Matt Sawyer?
You're damn right I am. I lost my wife, my daughter, her fiance.
Leslie,
I don't care about
can you
the
please turn
money.
that off?
Somebody's
Sorry,
gotta
Mr.
answer
Marshall.
for this.
Okay, everybody, back to work, please.
No secret stash? No breath mints?
You know, she told her sister she was going to take the kids to get ice cream before hitting the road.
Right, so maybe someplace between her sisters and the highway.
Sorry to crash the party. After you told me about her allergies, I took another look at her nasal mucosa. There was chronic inflammation, so I checked with the tox lab about the nasal spray.
Propofol. An anesthetic, right?
Yeah, powerful one. Also known as milk of amnesia. It's been in the news. It would cause immediate disorientation and lack of control if she sprayed it in her nose.
And all tox screens of Brenda Sawyer missed it.
It dissipates in minutes. It wouldn't be detected.
So somebody spiked her nasal spray with this stuff?
Without a doubt.
When you're right, you're right.
I want to be helpful.
You're doing okay. Yeah, let's start with some easy questions. Brenda, she had allergies, right?
Yes, she was always spritzing stuff up her nose.
Where did she keep her nasal spray?
In her purse.
And her purse. Where did she keep that?
On her desk. Or next to it. Is this helping?
Big time. Okay, touchier subject now. How did she get along with people here?
Oh, everyone thought the world of her.
We heard she'd been staying late the last few weeks. What was that about?
She and Zach, that's Mr. Marshall, the head of the sales department, they had this big project together.
Project. That sounds interesting.
Oh, for sure. The night before the accident, they were in his office in this big hush-hush, and they stopped when they saw me.
How about the day of the accident? Were they getting along?
Zach called in after he left looking for her, and I said that she went to pick up her kids. He didn't seem too happy.
Did he call from a cell phone? You know the number?
This isn't his personal phone. It's the one the company gave him.
Thanks. You've been very helpful.
Really? Glad.
Big hush-hush. It's either personal, professional, or mineral.
Yeah, well, his number matches the number that called Brenda in the minivan. Maybe her son overheard the conversation.
Her son, who just got out of the ICU. You IA guys are cold.
I can really keep it?
It's yours. Especially since you're going to help us with some of our detective work.
Okay.
Now, we know some of this stuff may be hard to talk about, so you just let us know and we can talk about it some other time.
I don't care.
Okay. Now, when you were in the car before the accident, do you remember your mom getting a phone call?
Yes, from her boss. She couldn't hear him, so she hung up. She was acting weird.
We understand, Nikki. We know it wasn't your mother's fault. Did she say anything about her boss?
She said he was nice. And he bought her a jam juice smoothie.
The smoothie she was drinking when you guys stopped to buy ice cream. A jam juice franchise, 3 blocks from Woodmore Pharma, made a delivery late Friday afternoon. 8 smoothies, enough for the whole sales staff, charged to Zach Marshall's corporate card.
He spiked her smoothie and her nasal spray.
She parked in the company garage. She could have planted the liquor bottle in her minivan, too.
He wanted us to think she crashed her car because she was drunk, not because she was knocked out on propofol.
Crazy scheme.
Well, you're gonna love this. Yeah. The 911 calls about the minivan, they were all made between 5:24 and 5:25, all except one made at 5:16 from a payphone in Tuckahoe.
10 miles from the West Side Highway. Someone must have a big crystal ball.
Zach Marshall's phone call to Brenda Sawyer 2 minutes earlier hit off a cell phone tower in Tuckahoe.
I treat my team to smoothies every Friday, kind of a attaboy motivator.
And you didn't notice Brenda pouring a little extra kick into her cup, did you?
She knew I didn't tolerate that kind of behavior.
After you both left the office, you called her?
No?
This is the list of all the calls you made. See that one right there? You didn't tell us you called her.
I didn't know. I was driving with my phone in my pocket. I had Brenda on speed dial. I must have hit it by mistake.
Why did you have her on speed dial?
Well, I have all my team on speed dial.
Could we see your phone?
Well, I don't know. I deleted Brenda's entry. I think I deleted some others, moving them around. I'm not good at these gadgets. Anyway, it's not important, is it?
Oh, it is. You see, you and Brenda have been staying late together these last couple of weeks. People saw you, Zach. What were you working on?
I can't say. It's confidential information. It belongs to the company.
Are you sure you were working?
What else would it be?
You tell us.
Oh, no. No way. I'm married. She was married. She had kids, for God's sake.
Her kids and her nieces. This is what they look like before the accident. You want to see the after pictures?
No, I don't need to see that.
Yeah, we know had this been in your power, you would have done everything to stop it from happening.
Of course. It was terrible.
But you did try, didn't you? You called 911.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. From a payphone in Tuckahoe.
She's in a dark blue minivan with New York plates. She's got kids with her. Send somebody right away, please.
One location, sir.
You see, you tried to get the police to pull her over before she got on the highway, before she was knocked out by the propofol you put in her nasal spray.
I didn't mean...
You didn't mean what?
You didn't mean what, Zach, huh? You didn't mean to get these kids killed? Is that what you mean? You didn't know they were going to be in the minivan, is that right? Look at the pictures, Zach! You didn't mean to kill these kids, did you?
I gotta go to the bathroom. Please, I gotta go! Please!